iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the Kentucky Motor Speedway. This is going to be a derby here tonight, but it is not the Kentucky Derby. There'll be plenty of horses out onto the racetrack here tonight, though, battling in the first round of the playoffs here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. It's been a heck of a regular season this past season, and drivers locking themselves in, some drivers coming down right to the wire on points. One driver that got lucky, that snuck right in the back door of the playoffs, was Dalton Williamson. We'll see if the short track ace can ace it here in the first round of the playoffs. Other drivers, though, that are in, how about DJ Anderson, 3 wins on the season, Sean Butler picking up a win, Chris Hammett picking up 2, Zach Mitchell picking up also a win, along with James Skelton. Max Terrill picked up 2 wins in the regular season. He is in. Drivers that pointed their way in, though, Michael Trevarthen, Ethan Troutman, Jeffrey Souza, Sean Single, and Cole Day, along with Dalton Williamson grabbing that final spot into the playoffs. So we'll watch those drivers battle here in the first round here tonight at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. We do head to the Dover Motor Speedway next week with the NASCAR trucks. We'll see. That is the second race in the first round of the playoffs. But it all is here tonight at Kentucky. It's one of the trickiest tracks, they tell me, because they, well, have not figured out turn number 4. So we'll see if anybody can figure it out here tonight. But what do you say we get on track side here tonight and get your starting lineup for our race here. Starting lineup brought to us by our friends at SimBox Button Box. You need a button box? Well, you don't need to look any further than our friends at SimBox. Head on over to facebook.com/SimBoxPC and get your custom button box made today for your sim rig. Starting on the front row here tonight, he'll have a great starting spot tonight. Car number 6, that'll be the man Chris Hammett. Is outside the newly engaged number 99. That'll be Cole Day. Max Terrill in the 42 will start third here tonight, while starting from the 4th spot here out of Ohio, driving car number 88. That'll be Sean Butler. 5th on the call here tonight, the Flourtown Animal Hospital driver out of South Carolina. It's the 86 of James Skelton. DJ Anderson in car number 51, the all-white number 51 here tonight, starting in the 6th spot. That'll be DJ Anderson. The 4X Racing 2-cent single, Shanika single, and car number 11 will roll from the 7th starting spot here tonight. And the driver who missed last week, who got, well, outpointed. He's on the outside of the playoffs looking in here. It's old Richard Murdoch in the Adventure in Pixel 01 entry. Murdoch will start from the 8th spot. Ninth will be the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen here tonight, while starting in the top 10. It's the Cuban Rocket. It'll be the number 69 of Roy Fernandez. And back into the 11th starting spot here tonight. He is car number 8 on the call. That will be the driver, Zach Mitchell, out of the 4X Racing Stables. To the outside of him in car number 62 out of Tennessee, that's Ethan Troutman. Back into the 13th spot, the 4X Racing Turbo Work Radical Paints, number 98 of Randall Donnie. Then it's Joe Strano in car number 43. Back there into the 15th spot then, Jeffrey Souza in car number 4. Tim Combs will pile the 17. He'll start 16th on the call here tonight. Dalton Williamson, one of the farthest back starting championship playoff contenders. Car 61 will start 17th. Donald Bennett in the number 31 will start into the 18th starting spot, while Brandon Feeney back in 19th. 20th will be Dan Butler. Back in 21st, the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes number 13 of Joshua Buckley. Eric Johnson will start 22nd. Jason Wells 23rd. Cody Sleeper, last week's pole sitter, he'll start back in 24th, while Tim Williams in the 45 will start 25th. Rob Higgins in the 40 machine will start 27th to Kevin O'Brien. And how about it, Tony Strano? He'll start shotgun to the field. That's your starting lineup here tonight, brought to us by our friends over at Simbox. 90 laps here tonight. Chris Hammett will choose the outside lane on the initial start here. Come into the green flag, and we are racing here. 90 laps at Kentucky. Let the Derby begin. Couple drivers hitting the wall coming out of turn number 2 there. The driver, though, that takes the race lead, that'll be Cole Day in car number 99. 3 wide racing back here. Murdoch to the outside. Murdoch way high, wide around the outside, and that is DJ Anderson there in the middle. And you saw the Murdoch entry get a little bit squirrely. Cole Day in lead lap number 1 here tonight at Kentucky. DJ Anderson on the outside there in that Toyota. Everybody else is going single file out in front of him as they're 3 wide. Here comes Roy Fernandez trying to come up the gut like a running back. Trying to slice and dice his way through it. Couldn't quite find the hole. Not the number 1 draft pick this year, huh? Fernandez will fall into the 10th position there. As Max Terrill sets the fastest lap time last time by. He's right there behind that number 99, a Cole Day. See him as they work down the back straightaway. Your front 2 leaders have broken away from the Chris Hammett number 6 and the 86 of James Skelton. Sean Single there in the 2-cent single entry. The Care Bears number 11. Picked up a podium finish on Thursday after being out of the short track series for a while. Side-by-side battles towards the back of the field here. Drivers trying to slice and dice their way back through after not having a great qualifying effort. There's the 31 of Donald Bennett. There is the 7 of Cody Sleeper. Rob Higgins is right there. Joshua Buckley. And there is the 33 of Eric Johnson. Bennett and Johnson both have lost a bunch of positions here on the opening laps tonight. So these drivers all battling back here for about the 23rd position on back. Everybody else pretty much single filing themselves out. Brandon Feeney on the Feeney call number 38. He's riding the high side also. Saw it down the back straightaway there from a quick glance from our camera. A lot of these drivers have chose to go single file here early. 90 laps around the 1.5 mile Speedway here at Kentucky. Gonna see him go up against the fence line. Gonna see him down low here tonight. These drivers probably just trying to work themselves in. Battle for the race lead, though, down into turn number 1. Here comes the 42, Max Terrill. Cole Day leads the first 5 laps here tonight. And now it is that 42 of Max Terrill. So Terrill takes over the race lead for the first time here tonight. Lead change number 2. Something going wrong with the transponder on the 184 of Kevin O'Brien, but he is out there. He's being followed by the 31 of Bennett right now. Bennett working up top. Wonder if that 31 or the 184 is a little tight. Usually when we see cars migrate towards the top of the racetrack, that means they might be a little tight here. Saw Bennett get by the 184. Now Cody Sleeper will go low. Oh, the 184 up into the wall. 184 of Kevin O'Brien was in the wall. Eric Johnson had to check up in the Dirty Mo Radio, number 33. Everybody will avoid it, but that will now put the 184 Kevin O'Brien shotgun to the field here on lap number 8. Michael Trevarthen right there in car number 2. There you see the driver out of Florida. He's in the playoffs. He's one of those playoff drivers. When you take a look right now and you look inside the top 10, the top 9 drivers. The top 9 drivers right now all in the playoffs. Richard Murdoch, the highest running non-playoff driver currently. He's sitting back there running into the 10th position. As there you see the 6 of Chris Hammett. Going to open up the bottom side. Here comes the 86 of James Skelton. You can't give Skelton an inch because he will take it. That is for sure. And now Sean Single opens up the bottom. Here comes Michael Trevarthen. So a side-by-side battle here for the 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th position. Single will retain the spot currently. We'll see if Chris Hammett's able to hold off the Flower Town Animal Hospital, number 86 of James Skelton, and it looks like he will. James Skelton and Sean Single running nose to tail. We've talked about those two drivers over the weeks that they have had run-ins here on Monday nights. Both drivers always somehow finding each other out there onto the raceway, and sometimes the fenders have been rubbed and the feathers have been ruffled, that is for sure. Last week they paid a little homage to it while James Skelton drove the number 1 machine of Ross Chastain, and, well, Sean Single drove the Denny Hamlin machine. We all know the famous gateway race between those two drivers in the big NASCAR Cup Series. One driver going to slap it off the wall. That was Roy Fernandez. He was slapping the base, and he slapped it off the wall. The Black Rifle Coffee entry, driver out of Lansing, Michigan. Just got himself up there. Souza back here in the Souza Stant Analyzer entry. Right now battling with the number 61 of Dalton Williamson. See Williamson working the outside groove here. As these tires start to wear out, you will see these drivers start to move up the track. The question being, how far will they all ride? How high will they go? The real question. There's the 17 of Tim Combs. He's right there also. There you see the offer pad, Dirty Mo Radio. And right behind them, Tim Williams. Tim Williams last week had a heck of a run coming towards the end of that race. It looked like he could have been in contention for the win. Was one of the fastest drivers towards the end of the race, and all of a sudden, she sputtered, she kicked, she stumbled, and he ran it out of fuel. See if he can have another fast car here tonight, and hopefully not run this one out of fuel. Brandon Feeney in the Feeney call number 38, also right there. Oh, one driver, little tap, maybe a little kiss of the wall. It was the all chromed out number 13 there. That is a blue chrome with silver checkered flag. Autos flag, Granny Hips, Walkers, and Canes, number 13 MA of Joshua Buckley. Buckley back here running 22nd, pass for second. That is Chris Hammett getting around the number 99 of Cole Day. We've talked about it as there's a battle back there. Sean Single looks like he has just ate the wall with his Care Bears entry. And, oh, there's some damage on the rear end of that car, too. Somebody's got to have front end damage. And, yes, it's the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen was following the number 11, and Sean got into the outside wall. Nowhere for the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen to go. Trevarthen has a lot of nose damage on car number 2 now. Have to keep an eye on that here tonight. Hopefully we don't see that car overheat. He is a playoff driver. Still the top 9 drivers here tonight, all playoff contenders. See how well Sean's car will handle here on the long run. No nose damage. There is some right-hand fender damage. And obviously some rear end damage. See Murdoch making the pass to the inside. That number 2 just cannot get down the straightaways. I'm looking at it right now. And we're looking at about a 4-mile-an-hour difference almost down the straightaway with no draft for that number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. We'll keep a close eye on the number 2 of Trevarthen as Ryan O'Donnell and the Turbo Dork Radical paints entry. The driver out of Canton, Michigan. A lot of Michigan drivers, a lot of Massachusetts drivers here tonight, and a lot of Canadian drivers. I think there's about 4 or 5 Michigan drivers in the field here tonight. Another 4 drivers out of Massachusetts. And I do believe we're up to 3, hold on, 1, 2, 4 Canadian drivers in the field also. And 3 Florida drivers. So I guess if you're not from one of those states, race fans, you need to be from one of them states. Ohio, another popular destination here with the series. See Chris Hammond has pulled away from Cole Day, and now it's Flowertown Animal Hospital, number 86 of James Skelton. Skelton down here. You see the flames out the right-hand side out of the pipes of the Flowertown Animal Hospital entry. Everybody's starting to really spread themselves out here. Michael Trevarthen fading now outside the top 10. He's running 12th as Sean Single will open up the inside lane advantage to Richard Murdoch, but the outside momentum rolls down the back straightaway. Fernandez back there battling with that number 2 entry. Oh, a little tight there for that number 2 it looked, and almost some contact with Fernandez. Right behind the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, that is the 61 of Dalton Williamson. Williamson, the team car, to car number 2. Both the Rev Esports drivers into the playoffs for the first time ever. Both cars qualify in. Just a big jungle of cars back here. Souza, Combs, Williamson, Troutman, Trevarthen, Fernandez, and a whole bunch of the brigade with it. Jason Wells is there. Tim Williams is right there. So you got everybody running from about, we're going to link Single in here from the 10th position all the way back to the 18th spot here. Green flag pit stops pending within the next 8 laps. I do believe we're starting to see just about everybody coming to pit road. See the 61, the 4, and the 62 have all got around Michael Trevarthen, so his woes continue here. That car tight and does not have the speed down the straightaway. You know who does have a fast hot rod, though, and his name is Tim Williams. He's rolling the outside there. Williams, after taking a season off, has come back with a vengeance here with the series, showing them that he can run with some of these guys, and he is definitely doing it. He's picked up 9 spots here tonight already in the first 24 laps, and he's not done. Look at all the cars out in front of him. The driver coming to pit road. Jason Wells will be the first one here on lap number 24 to hit pit road. There's your race leader, Max Terriot. He has opened up a pretty good size lead here already. About a 1.2 second lead. Look back, there is the Chris Hammond entry, the James Skelton, who's just got around Cole Day. And the whole field behind him. A nice, easy lift off and coast because he has a lead that he can save a little bit of fuel here. 25 officially in the books here tonight. Michael Trevarthen now almost outside the top 20 in car number 2. He's fallen back here to the 18th spot. There's Brandon Feeney. He should most likely take that spot here with ease. And then you got Cody Sleeper, Joshua Buckley. So a night that could have been for the number 2 is now going to be trying to save as many points as we can. Look how slow the car is down the straightaway compared to that 43 of Joe Strano that was out there. 99 at Cole Day getting passed up by the 51 of DJ Anderson. Day may be trying to save a couple laps of fuel here from the get-go. He shot out there pretty good, and after leading the first 5 laps of the event, has started to slow the pace down just a little bit. We'll see if it is by strategy here. Looks like the 88 of Sean Butler has been into the wall. There you see the RWG entry. RWB, excuse me, Team RWB. Dropped 3 spots from where he started here tonight. Butler finds himself back into the 7th spot running. Singles continuing to lose spots also. Remember, he's been into the wall, and Michael Trevarthen got into the back of him. That has now put Sean Single in the 15th spot. Michael Trevarthen still running in 18th. Other than that, I mean, there's been a couple other drivers that have slapped the outside wall here tonight, but everybody else still doing pretty good. The race leader to pit road. Here comes Max Terriel. He'll come to pit road. He comes to pit road. I believe that was Richard Murdoch. It was. That was all sideways coming in. There you see the Adventure and Pixels Claws Up charters of Richard Murdoch. So he comes to pit road. So not quite to that lap 30 marker. It's Strano, it's Higgins, Buckley, Williamson, Combs, Murdoch, and Terrill all coming to pit road. Now here comes Chris Hammett. He's down off the banking. He'll come to pit road. James Skelton will take over as the race leader. Looking at it, looking like another 9 drivers coming down pit road this time, and another 9 possibly to come next time. So the field has split this just about in halves. And here comes Skelton. You hear him off the accelerator coming to pit road. So he'll hit pit lane. He'll bring DJ Anderson, Zach Mitchell, Sean Butler, and Cole Day. Everybody else, look at them coming down 3 wide. Can't pass them on the track. You want to pass them on pit road. Dan Butler coming to pit road. He'll be the final car to come down. So that should start to cycle these drivers out here. Who should retain the race lead? It looks like it will be the 42 of Max Terrill. There you see Jason Wells. He was in the picture frame. He is going to be the second place car when they cycle back through, but he has some old tires on his machine now. He was the first one to come to pit road to try and gain some track position. Wells pitted back on lap number 23, while Terrill pitted on 28, and DJ Anderson, who's being scored in third, now fourth. He pitted on lap 30, so the running order being a little jumbled up. We'll see where everybody is here, where they cycle through in just a minute. Because it takes about a lap for these drivers to cycle themselves through after a green flag pit cycle. Tim Williams picking up a bunch of spots under that green flag pit cycle. He's now up 13 spots, running in 12th. 3-wide battle back here. That's Ethan Troutman, who was in the middle. Jeffrey Sousa down low. Sousa not having the speed that we normally see out of the stand analyzer machine. Tonight he's got Jonathan Hernandez spotting for him high above the virtual tower here tonight. Sousa started in 15th, and he's running currently into the 17th position. 1 spot ahead of number 13 of Joshua Buckley. At the front of the field, though, how do they cycle through? There you see at the 42, Max Terrell is the race leader. Running in second place is the 64 of Wells. Wells off sequence here. You see the 6 of Chris Hammett, who is running third. Came into the pit second, now running third. He'll get that second place back there as you see him go to the bottom side of the speedway. So now put Hammett in second, Wells in third. DJ Anderson right there, the all-white out Fox entry. He is sitting into the 4th spot right now, and James Skelton losing a couple spots under that green flag pit cycle. He's back to running in 5th. That's the top 5 here tonight after the green flag pit cycle. Murdoch is back here running into the 6th spot. There you see the Adventure in Pixels Claws Up Charters, 0-1 entry. Murdoch running in 6th, but here comes the GoBowling.com number 8 of Zach Mitchell. He will bowl right on down to the bottom side of the speedway and pass the Richard Murdoch entry. So now Mitchell in 6th, Murdoch in 7th. Both drivers pitted 2-lap difference. Zach Mitchell has the 2-lap pressure tires on his entry. Here comes Dalton Williamson. He is running into the 8th spot while Cole Day is back there running in 9th. And Ryan O'Donnell in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98 is sitting there into the 10th position here. That's the top 10 rundown after your green flag pit cycle. As DJ Anderson just got around Jason Wells also. So Wells came to pit road first, way off sequence on lap number 23. Why did he do that? Well, he was towards the back of the field here tonight, so he elected maybe to throw himself off a little sequence. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Off sequence. Well, that means you weren't quite to the end of your fuel run, but you knew you had to do something. You're buried into the field, so maybe shake up the box, the strategy a little bit. Come to pit road, put 4 tires on, slam it full of fuel, go back out there. You're going to cycle through towards the front of the field because your lap times were faster for 7 laps before the race. Leaders came to pit road. So he cycled through into 2nd after the green flag pit cycle and now has fallen back to 4th. What he's hoping for now is a caution flag to come out. If the caution comes out, he was going to go from running into the 18th position all the way up here into 4th. That would be a good positive net gain for that 64 of Jason Wells. Right now he's going to lose another one here. The longer this green flag run goes, it might hurt the 64 because if you're looking at the math and you're doing the math, some of these drivers went 30 laps. So they went 30 for pit stop number 1. They can go 30. That'll take them to lap 60. So that's 60. And then, well, you're doing the math that you don't need to pit again because lap 90, you should run out of fuel coming across the line. Battle back here. Murdoch opening up the inside lane. Williamson trying to get the push from Cole Day. Trying to get those Chevrolets linked up. Murdoch will hold on to the position for the time being. Williamson with a bid down the back straight away. He'll poke the nose of the Rev Esports entry down low there. The BK Paints number 61. Just can't quite get the center rotation with car 61 to get that through. For all the Sean Single fans tuning in out there, Sean Single involved with a little bit of a scuffle in the opening laps here tonight. Got a little tight off corner and got it into the outside wall, and he got rear-ended by the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Nowhere for Trevarthen to go, so the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, now residing in Boston, having some issues here tonight for the Care Bears number 11. There you see Single, he's back there running 22nd right now on the timing and scoring. Not where you want to be as we close in on halfway. Williamson says he's not where he'd like to be either right now. He's trying to get a good push by Day. Day now going to push him by the 0-1, and now Day will go to the bottom side. Will he have any kind of run on that 61? Wells just out front of this group here. Remember, Wells is off sequence on tires. He pitted on lap number 23. These drivers all pitted on lap 28 and 30. Wells knows he's at a disadvantage, and instead of trying to hold up this group, he's just doing the gentleman thing. He's going to get up out of the way. He knows his tires are older. Cole Day with a really good run that time off, too. He'll shoot it down into the corner. Him and Williamson did some dirt racing this past year. Had the pleasure of being on the call for that, for those two drivers. So they've raced around each other more than just here on the asphalt, and that was a good old, well, it looked like if we were going to be on dirt, it was going to be a slide job there by Day. He drove it off into corner number 3 real far, real low on the banking, and Williamson just gave him the spot for the time being. Williamson, a very veteran racer here on iRacing, mainly grew up on the short track ranks here on iRacing and did some short track racing of himself. We call them hobby stocks up here, maybe limited late models and whatnot down in Florida. If you're down in the Florida rank or region, you might be able to catch him around the ranks of some of those divisions down there, helping out on cars. Don't think he gets to race as much as he used to or would like to anymore. Racing's just an expensive sport, is what a lot of these drivers say. There's a lot of drivers in the field here tonight that have either crewed on some cars up and down the coast or all around the country, or are still racing. One of those drivers that is out there racing still today is Chris Hammett. Chris Hammett runs in Maryland. I believe Maryland, and I believe he runs at the Old Dominion Speedway. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. I called him from Virginia for the last, 4 years of race calling here on iRacing, and finally, a couple of weeks ago, he actually told me, he goes, Roger, you do realize I'm really not from Virginia. And I swore I read it on his entry that he wrote it as Virginia one time, and I've never looked at it prior. Maybe I was just looking at racetracks and assumed he lived right across the street from it. Not sure. Chris Hammett's from Maryland, though, race fans, and he does still race Legends cars here in the States. Driver to pit road here, maybe to kick things off. There's the 0-1. Richard Murdoch on lap number 46 will come to pit road. This is his second stop of the evening. He has been into the outside wall. We told you about that earlier on. See the right side there as he comes down to pit road, caved in on the 0-1 entry. So maybe trying to leapfrog a couple spots back here tonight. He's not in the playoffs, so he's just at this point out here for, well, trying to get some bragging rights back. Driver that is in a world of hurting here, and that's Michael Trevarthen. There you see Troutman and Cody Sleeper right there. Troutman still falling through the field. He was back 15th. Jason Wells now comes in, so that'll bump him up another spot. 14th now. We'll just have to wait to see where all the chips may fall at the end of this one. It's not a good way to start round number 1 of the playoffs. Race leader, though, has put down the 23rd car a lap down. That is Kevin O'Brien, the Australian, the cricket master. You can tell that car has got a huge push down there in the middle 3 and 4. O'Brien going to hang on to it as he reaches for his Foster's beer. Cold day once he got around Williamson, has set sail, opened up about a second gap over Williamson. Williamson's been pulling the number 98 of Ryan O'Donnell around the speedway here for the last couple of laps, and he's sitting there currently running 7th and 8th for Ryan O'Donnell. Tim Williams is back there running into the 9th position, 16 spots gained. There's only 2 other drivers here tonight that have picked up double-digit spots here at the halfway point, and that was Dalton Williamson picked up 10, and Cody Sleeper in car number 7, the driver out of East Lansing, Michigan, has picked up another 10 spots here. Drivers that have lost a bunch of spots here tonight, it looks like one driver, looks like the 88 of Sean Butler has lost 21 spots here tonight, while Richard Murdoch is down 18. Tim Combs is down 12 spots, and Sean Single is also down 12 spots himself. Looking at a couple of these drivers might be getting ready to make another round of pit stops. Drivers who have already stopped twice, Richard Murdoch, Jason Wells, and Tim Combs. That's why they are so far down on the running order. As there you see Michael Trevarthen has got passed up by Troutman, Sleeper, Josh Buckley, and now Eric Johnson has got around the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Last time by, fastest car out onto the speedway was the Tim Combs Dirty Mo Media offer pad number 17, the driver out of Ohio. I tell you, weekly he gives golf lessons over in Ohio, and I had gone over to New Jersey last Friday to go golfing, and it was going very well. And all of a sudden, the skies opened up and it started raining in New Jersey, and, well, let me just tell you, after 10 holes of golf, the rain did not help my swing. Tim already told me I had a horrible swing, and then trying to swing in the rain is just something that we should forget. Let's just say I did not get to finish my round of golf. Drivers coming to pit road here, though. Max Terriot pitting out of the race lead. Dalton Williamson also on pit road. Joshua Buckley on pit road here. They went 30 laps the last time they came to pit road, so this is a little early here for Max Terriot to be coming to pit road. He'll throw himself a little off sequence here, but he's the race leader, so we'll see if he starts to pull a lot of these drivers down to pit road with him. So Chris Hammett now will take over. It'll be Chris Hammett, DJ Anderson, and James Skelton, Zach Mitchell, Cole Day, Ryan O'Donnell, Tim Williams, still chewing up spots on the ticker. Jeffrey Souza, Joe Strano, and now Roy Fernandez, the top 10 drivers. But remember, we're in the middle of what is a green flag pit cycle. Doesn't look like anybody's coming this time outside the top 10. Yeah, I believe the 64 Wells. Not sure if he was trying to come to pit road or what there. That car looked like it got real slow off turn number 4, like he wanted to come to pit road. Keeps it out there. Lost some ground to that 43, but pulled a little bit on the 69. Nice of Roy Fernandez. Fernandez getting passed up. Not a Panel 4 position. Remember, Tim Combs is down a lap right now to the race leaders. Sean Butler and Jason Wells, though that is a Panel 4 position. Battling for that 24 spot. Wells ducking and diving his way through traffic. That's the 4 of Souza. Souza's running in the 8th position in the midst of this green flag pit cycle. We talk about Jeffrey Souza. The other year, he was the only driver that was able to point his way in the playoffs. Then not only did he point his way into the playoffs, he pointed his way into the Final Four and came up one spot short of picking up a championship here on Monday night with Red Light Racing. He told me they don't always have the fastest car. But sometimes you got to make your own luck, get off sequence, get off strategy with them. He does that more often than not, and it usually tends to work in his favor. Here tonight, the car is not as fast as another driver coming to pit road there. You saw him shoot off to the apron. That'll be the 45 of Tim Williams. But the 4 of Souza, all you got to do is be there towards the end to have a chance, really. Hammett's still the race leader. Yep, I was going to say, I think I hear him off the accelerator down in turn 4. Chris Hammett will come to pit road. Doesn't drag anybody else along with him. Next driver coming to pit road, I think back there, is Michael Trevarthen. Sean Singles in. Drivers coming out of Tony Strano, Rob Higgins, Donald Bennett. So those are the first and second place cars coming across the line to complete lap number 59. So we'll work lap 60 here. If these drivers all come down pit road right here, they will be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel because they pitted last time on 30. So if they went 30 and 30, they should be able to go, well, do the math with me, 30 and 30. And if you guessed 30, you were correct. Let's see if they come down. You see separation there. You see the 3 of Strano go by, and there they come, pit road. Everybody downshifts, gets down to pit road speed. Gonna drag Zach Mitchell, Cole Day, also to pit road. Souza, Johnson, Ethan Troutman in the body armor entry. The driver out of Tennessee will stay out. So as he stays out here, Max Terriot should cycle back through once all said and done. I think Max may have to pit one more time here tonight. We're going to have to watch that 42 of Max Terriot. He's going to have a big lead over the rest of the field. Ethan Troutman, for everybody following along, has come to pit road now from the race lead. Trying to take a gander here. There are the standings as they're running. A 10-second lead for the 42 of Max Terriot. Richard Murdoch, fun fact here, did put 2 tires on the Adventure in Pixels entry to get out in second. Or see if that strategy plays off, because we still have a lot of racing left to go here tonight. 28 laps remaining here tonight at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. First race of the round of 1. I said that wrong. First race of the round of 12. There we go. I said it and I looked over and it just did not sound right, and I had to say it to myself again. Chris Hammett, though, looking to pass up that 0-1. He will. That is a battle for position. So now Chris Hammett will inherit a second place that is sitting almost 11 seconds back of the race leader of Max Terriot. All right, Donnie trying to pick up a spot here after the pit cycle. Well, Donnie has 6 fresher laps on his tires. Oh, one into the wall there. Rhino Donnie trying to give it all she's got, Captain. Here comes Cole Day. He'll take the spot from Rhino Donnie, and maybe, yeah, it looks like he'll take that spot there from Dalton Williamson. Sometimes you just got to take them when you get them, and Cole Day says, thank you very much. I'll take a 2 for 1. See some other spots changing hands there. Zach Mitchell getting around Jason Wells. He looks like he should get around the Tim Combs entry. Combs came to pit road way back when on lap 47. 46 for Wells. So those drivers way off the pace here. They will be having to come to pit road another time. Richard Murdoch coming right here. With 25 laps to go, the 2 tires not playing out in his favor. So Richard Murdoch will bring the Adventure in Pixels 0-1 to pit road for the final time here tonight. Joe Strano having a rather quiet night here tonight in the Road Rage Accessories number 43, the driver out of Wisconsin. Just sitting here inside the top 15. He'll pick up another one because Jason Wells now coming to pit road. Remember, we told you a couple of those drivers short pitted. They would have to come back to pit road. Murdoch was one of them. Wells is the other, and so was Tim Combs. And you're probably looking at Dalton Williamson having to come to pit road yet here today, too. Yeah, here comes Combs. Combs will give up a top 5 running spot. He'll come to pit road now. Two cars that look alike, but they're no longer in the same team stable. There you see the 61 of Williamson, the 45 of Williams. That's Williamson and Williams down low. 45 of Tim Williams, though. That car has been, we talked about it last week, how fast he was. And now this week again, fast. Inside the top 10 here late with just 22 laps to go. Tim Williams looking at it, should be right there on the border of having enough fuel in his machine to make it all the way. Another driver to pit road is the 3 of Tony Strano. There you see the Victory Junction Gang Draft Top entry, Strano Brothers Racing entry. He has come to pit road. Looks like just right side tires and fuel for the 3 of Strano. The other Strano, Joe Strano right now. Sitting in 11th. He's got Joshua Buckley, though, right behind him. That is a battle for position for Buckley. Then you got the 88 of Sean Butler, who's going to want to have this night back here tonight at Kentucky. Fastest car in our practice session, but, well, practice doesn't win the race. I believe he had a pit road speeding penalty coming in. Plus the damage on the right side of that entry. Him, Murdoch, and Wells are all battling for position. You saw Murdoch get around him. You see Wells creep back into the picture here. Dan Butler also battling for a spot. He's back there in the orange machine, car number 21. I think we talked about it earlier on in the season, but it's good to see Dan Butler going back to some original paint schemes here on iRacing. I ran with Dan Butler probably 4 years ago here on iRacing, and he ran car number 21, orange, with the black tiger stripe like that, so it's good to see him going back to his roots. I think Buckley's coming to pit road. He is, so Buckley will come to pit road. He doesn't have enough fuel with 18 to go. He'll come this time. Tim Williams also looked like he had enough fuel. He does not. He'll come to pit road with 18 laps to go also. So some of these drivers just not quite hitting the fuel mark they want. Max Terriot has backed it way down. Remember, at one point it was an 11-second race lead. Now it's only down to 4.5 and closing for Chris Hammett. He is about 0.2 of a second faster. 0.2 of a second faster here at Kentucky is a lot. Question is, though, is Max just out here saving? Not only saving fuel, but saving tires, because he does not have to go out there and set a blistering pace anymore. See the cars that are just behind him, though, Cody Sleeper and Brandon Feeney, they're battling for the 15th and 16th respective spots on the raceway. So those drivers would like to be the first car one lap down. Right now, that will go to Cody Sleeper in car number 7. Second place machine coming in. Chris Hammett will give up second and come in with 15 to go. So maybe tires they just mean too much here tonight. And Chris Hammett's going to be the one to roll the dice coming to pit road. He was within 4 seconds. We have to remember that Chris Hammett came to pit road with a 4-second deficit. Here, some drivers going off into turn 1. They were lifting a little bit. A little bit early for those drivers. Donald Bennett also down on pit road to the number 31. He's been into the outside wall. Bennett suffering kidney stones this past year. Having to really pretty much run home from the hospital, log in, and go. No practice. So Feeney goes a lap down to the race leader of Max Terriot. That number 7 of Cody Sleep. Caution. Tim Williams turned around with 13 laps to go. This is going to hurt a lot of the drivers that just came to pit road. They might get trapped a lap down here. Chris Hammett, one of those drivers. Cody Sleeper going to get to be the lucky one here. Did not go a lap down, so he will stay on the lead lap with 13 laps to go. Oh, baby, let's take a look. You see Tim Williams just misjudged it going into turn 1, and he'll clip the body armor number 62 of Ethan Troutman. Right on board with Williams. So there you saw it riding on board. Battle off pit road here. This is live, and it will go to the 42 of Max Terriot, James Skelton, DJ Anderson, Zach Mitchell, Cole Day, Dalton Williamson, Jeffrey Souza, Ryan O'Donnell, Roy Fernandez, and Brandon Feeney, the top 10 drivers that come out of pit road. A couple drivers still sitting down on pit road. There's the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. He's trying to get as much damage fixed as he can, so this will help him, this caution flag here tonight. So drivers that aren't so lucky here will be the number 6 of Chris Hammett. He is out in front of the race leader, so what he's going to be able to do is he'll actually take what is considered a wave around. So when we come to bunch the field up to get 1 lap to go, anybody that is in front of the race leader, where is Max Terriot right now? Let's see if we can get on board here with Max and see. No, that's the wrong camera. We're looking for something towards the front. All those cars that are out in front right now of the race leader. That's Cody Sleeper. That looks like Butler, Kevin O'Brien, Tim Combs, Rob Higgins. There's Wells. There's Tony Strano, Sean Single, and a slew of other drivers. When we get the 1 to go marker, they will be told to go around the iRacing.com pace car. They will come back around, join the back of the field in a single file formation. Problem is, these drivers all pitted back on lap number, let me take a gander, 58, 65, 64, 67. So they're going to be at a tire disadvantage. Yes, they're going to be back on the lead lap, but at a tire disadvantage, they're just going to be struggling to hold on here. They're going to be hoping for maybe a quick yellow flag here, where the race leader, like Max Terriot and James Skelton, they want to run this one out. It looked like this was going to be Max's race to, pretty much have here, kind of secure his spot into the next round of the playoffs. But a late race caution erases everything, crumble it up, what you thought the order was going to be, because when we go back racing, it should be Terriot, Skelton, Anderson, Mitchell, the top 4. Then it's Day, it's Williamson, it's Souza. This caution flag really helped Souza out. Remember, he was one of those drivers that's kind of hung towards the mid-pack here tonight outside the top 15. He now has a chance. He'll restart inside the top 10. We told you about his philosophy of maybe get a little off sequence and then try to stay out of trouble and be there at the end. That car is absolutely beautiful, and he'll restart in the 4th row. Joe Strano and Roy Fernandez will funnel out the rest of the top 10 drivers here. There is your running order right now. 21 cars on the lead lap. Looks like 1 car has retired here tonight. That'll be the 31 of Donald Bennett. So we're coming back. We have got the 1 to go signal. So we're coming back here as the lights are off on the pace car. We'll have 9 laps to settle this one. Terriot, Skelton, Anderson, Mitchell, Day, Williamson, Souza, O'Donnell, Fernandez, and Strano. Ready to go. Everybody else on the field out here tonight, as long as you're not Bennett, is just one lap down. So Butler, Williamson, Buckley, Tony Strano, Ethan Troutman, and Rob Higgins all one lap down. Right to the end of the Geico restart zone. The flagman waves it. We got 9 laps remaining here at Kentucky. The horses are off. Great start by Max, so he'll put the two side by side for second. Out of turn 2 they come. 3 wide, a little bit deeper in the field. Remember, we told you some cars on newer tires, some on older tires. It's going to get tricky. Joe Strano stuck in the middle back there right now. One lap back to green. The inside lane looking pretty stout for the 51 of Anderson right now. Zach Mitchell just kind of sitting in limbo there, and Cole Day has gotten around the number 61 of Dalton Williamson. Cole Day going to the outside, taking a bid here on Mitchell. Can he pull side by side at all? He will not. He'll fall back in. Seven to go, and Max is the fastest car on the Speedway out front. He was, a tenth of a second faster last time, all but. How about Eric Johnson? We called his number a time or two when he was running back to the 22nd, 23rd. He was as far back as running 28th here tonight. Now he is running in the 8th spot with now 6 laps remaining. So a great recovery for him. Michael Trevarthen, a great recovery for him. He is now running in that 11th position. As far back as running 26th. The battle for second still raging on. Max is just kind of dangling the carrot out in front of these two as they run side by side. High five at the flag stand just 5 more times around the mile-and-a-half track here tonight at Kentucky. GoBowling.com, number 8 right now. Oh, Souza into the door panel there of the 99. He drove it in, and Fernandez going to spin the 4. Cole Day hard into the inside wall. Cole Day and Jeffrey Souza battling inside the top 5. With 5 laps to go, we'll bring out the second caution flag of the evening. That will send this race into overtime here tonight. Both these drivers in the playoffs, having good runs. Now erased. Watch it back. Souza drives it off into the corner. Fernandez sees the opening, goes for it. Gets into the quarter panel of Souza, and Cole Day is just collateral damage at that point. Get everybody scatter. Good scatter there by the 7 of Cody Sleeper, the 13 of Joshua Buckley. Caught the tail end on that one. Watch it there. Souza rides the 99 up the track, and there you see Fernandez with just a little tap in the left rear, and the side force spins the 4 around, catches the Rockstar Energy 99. Roof flaps deployed, but man, a big hit for Cole Day. You see that 99 jumped up into the air and spun around. It's right on board with Cole Day. Or Ryan O'Donnell. Now Cole Day. Hard impact. Not only did he hit the wall, Souza got him when he spun it back around. You can tell the engine's wounded as he pulled away there. You hear it's just not singing the RPMs that it needs to sing. And you see him down on pit road. His night may be done. So this will take us into overtime. So we're getting overtime attempt number 1 coming at us here when we go back racing. I believe the only way we wouldn't head to overtime is if the lights went out right here on the safety vehicle. And they are still on. So we will definitely need overtime to finish this one out. Well, we were scheduled to go 90. We're extended by a couple laps here tonight. And now we're taking a gander at it and seeing who is in a good spot here to benefit from this one. Dalton Williamson was sliding through the field there before that caution flag, and now he'll have a chance to regroup. How about the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen? His night, battling inside the top half of the field here. Got into the back of Sean Single as Sean Single was into the outside retaining wall. Had damage, didn't have the speed. Car was tight. Now is, well, looking at a top 10 finish, possibly. Eric Johnson, we talked about him in the 33. He was as far back as running 28th in the opening laps of this one. Not a playoff driver, but a chance here tonight to make some noise. Zach Mitchell, he's run inside the top 10 most of the night here in the GoBowling.com Rich DPC's number 8. Just been very silent here tonight. Right now, Zach Mitchell, he'll refire this one from 4th. Joe Strano, we talked about the Road Rage Accessories, number 43 out of Wisconsin. Strano is hung towards the tail of the top 10, sometimes just outside the top 10 here tonight. He has a chance to, well, maybe get a little road rage and go storming to the front. Just a couple of guys to keep your eye on here. Chris Hammett also was a lap down after being in second most of the night. He'll restart on the lead lap back to the 13th position with fresh tires. He'll have to go for it, though, if you're Chris Hammett. Hammett, Wells, Feeney, Butler, O'Brien, Combs, Single, Day, Murdoch, and Butler all have fresh tires and are on the tail end of the field here. See if they can chew up. They got drivers in front of them with at least 10 lap older tires. But it will be Max Terrill and James Skelton. Or sorry, DJ Anderson, then James Skelton and Zach Mitchell. Fernandez, then Johnson. Who do you think, race fans? It'll be a shootout, knock him out, drag him out. Pace car lights are off, so we're ready here down in turn number 3. We're coming out of turn 4. You're seeing the dreaded iRacing.com pace car. It will make the left-hand turn. Max Terrill, we talked about him as the race leader. He came into the night here tonight having 2 wins on the season, and he could have had at least 3 or 4, but he's been bumped out of the way in late race situations just like this. Will it happen again here tonight? About to find out. Green flag back into the air. Here comes Skelton right to the back bumper of the 42. He'll give Max Terrill a big shot. 3 wide towards the mid pack. Couple drivers trying to take advantage here. That was the 6, I do believe, of Chris Hammett, who made it 3 wide to go into 1. Out of turn number 2, though, Max Terrill has the race lead. He'll throw a little bit of a block down the back straightaway on the 51 of DJ Anderson. Anderson going to get right to the back bumper here. This time by, we'll see the white flag out of turn number 4. The white flag is up here. The final lap tonight here at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. Here comes DJ Anderson. Contact into 1. Contact into 1. Anderson down to the bottom. Max going to get moved up out of the groove. The 42 will be into the outside wall. Big wreck down here. big wreck cars tumbling. Zach Mitchell, Joe Strano tumbling out of turn number 2. We stay towards the race leaders. DJ Anderson, James Skellin took a swipe to the back bumper of the 51 of Anderson. He will not make it. Roy Fernandez will make a little contact with the 86, but it will be DJ Anderson winning here tonight at Kentucky. It'll be Fernandez, then James Skelton, Brandon Feeney. Sean Single rallying way back to finish into the 5th spot. Chris Hammond in 6th. Kevin O'Brien with another top 10 finish this season. Jeffrey Souza in 8th. Cody Sleeper in 9th. And Cole Day will finish back into the 10th spot. Holy shamoles, we will have to regroup and look back at where everything went wrong there on the final lap there. I can tell you there was a lot of beating and a lot of banging on that last lap. But there is your winner here tonight. DJ Anderson will do the donuts here in Kentucky. He will win this one. A little overtime, a little rubbing, a little racing. DJ Anderson, though, securing a spot into the next round of the playoffs. So as he celebrates, what do you say, race fans? We take the look back here. Let's see if we can slow it down. Where did this all go wrong? We saw the DJ Anderson and Max Terriot get together right here. We have it in slow-mo. There it is, the bump from the 51 into the left rear quarter panel. That'll send the 42 up the speedway. And then from there, there's the 8 of Zach Mitchell. He was hammered down. There was nowhere he was going to go. He's going to come down the track. There's Eric Johnson. There's Joe Strano. They're going to all get wrapped up in this one. Ryan O'Donnell, Cody Sleeper is involved. You see cars flying. Dalton Williamson is involved. There's Max Terriot flipping down the back straightaway. Tony Strano's involved. Sean Butler's involved. Just chaos. Watch it in real time. Sean Butler got moved up out of the way already. It's the last lap. Drivers not wanting to give way at the end of this one. And all sorts of craziness happening here tonight at Kentucky. Race fans, what do you say? We kick this show along the way here. We will be right back with your post-race show after this.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Kentucky Motor Speedway race fans. After some overtime, fireworks, thrilling, rubbing, racing, sparks flying, along with a couple cars flying here on the final laps of this one, but we have finished it off here, and we have some of your top finishers here tonight. Let's start things off with the driver that will be parked in victory lane here tonight. How about it, DJ Anderson? DJ, you pick up the win here tonight, but it had to go a little late race bump and run, if you will. How did it all play out in the cockpit of the 51?
I feel bad for Max. He's always one of the fast guys every race, and he was fast tonight. I think he took 2 tires there, so I feel like I would have been faster than him. But I just got myself a good run off of 4 and was hoping to be right on his bumper to have an opportunity to try to get alongside him through 1. And I just happened to get a good enough run to where I was actually able to get at least my nose inside of him, and he blocked me like he should, going for the win, and pinched me down there. And I even hit the brakes, try not to wash up too much, and I washed up, I think, just a foot too much. And that's racing for the win. Unfortunately, in the playoffs, you're not going to give everybody an inch. And like, I hate to win races like that, but sometimes you can block and get away with it, and pinch and get away with it, and sometimes you can't. And with iRacing, netcode can happen, and it's just one of those things where, unfortunately, I think if it was real life racing, we probably would have been racing side by side to the end. But it sucks, and I hate it for Max. But we're moving on. Thankfully, I don't have to go into next week and really worry about it. But it's nice to get a win again, back to back.
Yeah, how does it feel to not have to go into the Monster Mile at Dover next week for 100 laps? Because that is one of the trickiest tracks, no pun intended to Pocono, but one of the trickiest tracks that we have here on the service.
I run good at Dover, and especially in the trucks. I mean, I'm probably one of the better drivers when it comes to racing the trucks on most tracks. So I was kind of looking forward to actually next week's race over this one. I felt I was going to run the fuel mileage race there, and had enough to make it to the end. And then that caution kind of just shook things up. But I knew speed-wise, I was pretty decent. So, like I said, I think Max took 2, and I think that was definitely going to be the difference maker there at the end. But it just sucks to have a win like that. But it's nice to be able to breathe next week. But, hopefully we can get Sean a win, or if not, maybe I can get 3 in a row.
Well, 3 in a row makes her go. I heard it one time. I guess it just sounds good. But hey, before we let you roll the red carpet out here tonight, who do you got to thank back home there for another victory here on Monday?
My teammate Sean, we work so hard every week to, put in the practice. And I feel like, this year it's definitely shown. We've had strong runs. He hasn't had the finishes like I have. That speeding penalty at the beginning kind of messed him up. But we work hard on practicing and coming out to try to make sure we can have a solid finish, if not a win. And, these guys at Red Light, I love racing with them. Just playoff races can get a little heated, and, feelings are going to get hurt, unfortunately. And, my mom, she's watching, so it's nice to get another win for her. And, we'll move on and prepare for round 2.
There you hear it, DJ Anderson here tonight, picking up the win in overtime. May not have had the fastest car, but he'll go to victory lane tonight. Driver that will finish second, well, it's his best finish ever. How about it, Roy? A late race heroic, hold it to the floorboard and make it through it.
Yeah, Roger, I didn't want to really finish like that. I was definitely just playing the fuel strategy. I'm not really in the playoffs, so I don't really have any reason to be, here in the top 3 or anything like that. But, I just, unfortunately, I just got into Souza when Souza and Cole, they were kind of battling. They checked up quite a bit there, and I accidentally ended up tapping him a little bit. So I'm sorry for Souza and Cole. Kind of screwed their night because they were having a pretty dang good race there as well. And then also right there at the end, I kind of, I was just racing after James kind of drove it in a little too deep on the very last, so I was probably expecting 3rd for sure. I didn't expect that to drive the corner a little too hard, and I kind of sideswiped him a little bit. I was just trying to keep it in the gas and not do anything too stupid, but I did end up hitting in there, so my apologies to Skelton as well.
It may have not been a perfect race out there, but this 69 was pretty fast and sporty all evening long. I see a lot of drivers here tonight, some down around the bottom, some running about that middle groove here. Where did this Black Rifle Coffee fire off?
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty much just playing a fuel strategy the entire night. We were just trying to hit our marks and just let the race come to us, not try to overdrive, not try to do too much. I think I wore the tires off a little bit more in the first run, but that was just kind of like a little learning opportunity for us. And the last two runs, we were just kind of holding steady, and we kind of figured what our fuel capacity was going to be the next couple of runs. So we were on track to at least be in the top 10, doing fairly well. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, things shook up. But yeah, just clutching it in, keeping it low, not trying to hit the wall. That was the strategy.
We'll try not to hit the wall next week. So what do you say? There's people back home though in Lansing, Michigan that you got to give those I love yous to.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Black Rifle Company. As my sponsor as well. Obviously my wife, and now my little one Maria, got a little baby now. And again, just good teammates of mine, Cody, Cole, and Donald. We just hang out together and learn from each other as best as we can, and keep racing every night.
There you have it. He's racing here tonight, and that's the 69 of Roy Fernandez. He'll come home in second. The driver that will come home in third here tonight, he is not available. It looks like he has been swooped away. The Flowertown Animal Hospital, number 86 of James Skelton, will finish third. And so what do you say we toss that microphone over to this driver, the driver out of Ontario, Canada? How about it, Brandon Feeney? This is becoming a regular here as of late. You've been finishing in the top half of the field, and, well, you get to talk to us again here tonight. How was the night out there behind the wheel?
I didn't put a lot of practice in this week, so I didn't expect any good results. But we had that late race caution. I had a set of tires in the pits, and I said, you know what? Let's use them. What's the worst that can happen?
So what you're saying is you felt like Superman here at the end.
Oh, yeah. We had 4 Mr. Feelgoods and a light tank of fuel, and decided when everything was hitting the fan, I decided just to pin it, win it.
What did you see out there on the closing laps, especially the white flag lap there happening out in front of you?
Seen a lot of aggression. There was it's playoffs, so every point matters to these guys that are in the playoffs, and a few of us were just letting those playoff driver go. But when everyone started to reckon, it was just about trying to get around as clean as you can and maintain the best finish you can.
Well, you will finish here tonight, picking up 15 spots into the 4th place. That's got to feel pretty good here. The last couple of Thursdays and Monday nights, you've really had some really good runs. What really has turned the program around over there at the Beefy Motorsports Stables?
I think it's just more focusing on practicing, and I think being relaxed. Even doing the Feeney call once in a while for doing some podcasts brings me down the computer, and I get to relax and do some iRacing and practice while I'm waiting for the guests and stuff like that.
How did we'll call it the unofficial first episode go? We haven't got to actually tune in here in our studio.
It went pretty good. We released it on Friday at 1 o'clock. I think we're sitting over 100 views on YouTube. I haven't looked at Spotify numbers, but I think for very first episode, that's pretty good. We have a second episode coming out on this Friday, and then we have the third one already recorded as well, as I'm trying to work on the real car. So I got to record with guests when I have the time. And
well, we look forward to watching those and hearing more of your guests that you have lined up here in the coming weeks. But another great run for you here tonight. Brandon, before we let you go, anybody back home? And I guess all the snow's melted by now back home.
Yeah, I got to thank Liquid Molly. They've helped me in the real life and in the sim side. I got to thank you up in the booth, buddy, for not only doing these broadcasts, but making my logos and my animation for the podcast. I got to thank Buckley and the crew for putting on a great league. And I got to thank all these other drivers for putting up with me while I'm here.
Well, there it is. We put up with him here tonight. Brandon Feeney, and the Feeney call number 38 will finish in 4th here tonight, picking up 15 solid positions. Another solid race for a couple other of these drivers. Take a quick look here at the finishing order after this one and take a look at some of these names that are going to finish inside the top 10. You heard from Brandon Feeney. How about Sean Single rallying back? Chris Hammett was a lap down late in this one. He'll finish in 6th. Kevin O'Brien will walk away with another top 10 finish here for him this season. That team has got things turned around. This will be the 3rd top 10 finish of the season. He's picked up a top 5 also. Cole Day will rally back. He'll finish inside the top 10. Jason Wells was a lap down. He'll finish 11th. How about Dan Butler? 12th. Max Terriot will want tonight back. He'll finish 13th. And a couple other drivers there is Ryan O'Donnell, Tim Combs, Eric Johnson, and Zach Mitchell. So some of these drivers will walk away with some good finishes. Some will want them back, like Sean Butler, Richard Murdoch, Michael Trevarthen, and Zach Mitchell. They will have to go now into the next race with, well, they're going to have to win to move on, some of these drivers. So we'll see what will happen next week when we head to the Monster Mile at Dover. That's right. Miles the Monster is coming out to play with the Tailgaters next Monday night. May the 8th will be the second race of the first round of the playoffs. Don't want to miss that one right here. All the coverage on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the playoffs. But until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.